I'm from Danville, Virginia, Danville, Pennsylvania County. I live in Arlington now, and I came from an area that lacked financial opportunities. Uh, when textiles and tobacco jobs and manufacturing jobs shipped overseas and tobacco started to decline, thousands of Virginians where I'm from lost employment. And many Virginians statewide have been hurting financially before COVID even arrived. COVID made it worse, where we have the worst economic um, environment right now for anyone since the Great Depression. Hundreds of our Virginia small businesses have closed, thousands of Virginians lost work, are unemployed. Uh, 1 in 3 people took salary pay cuts. 1 in 4 people don't even have enough food on to eat. 50% of our rural hospitals is on the brink of closing. Many people facing eviction from our homes and also from their apartments. So MMT in itself is something I personally have to do more research on, but that's the reason why I'm here because I've witnessed from someone that literally came from lack of financial opportunity, people been hurting, and all the stuff that I shared before COVID, and COVID made it worse. Um, you know, I'm a firm believer that we need to have everyone have a seat at the table. We need to have open discussions, an open heart, open mind, and we need to treat anyone with any idea of how we could be able to uplift everyone, take their sayings and their views seriously. Because at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer you treat others the way you want to be treated. And it's a time now, especially the biggest opportunity for change is always following a crisis. I will say, I know you all said you cut from the burning cloth. One of my campaign tiers, actually, my campaign manager was the deputy campaign manager to Stacey Abrams, and also my deputy was the state director to Bernie for Tennessee, actually. We've having that type of spirit, and it's the reason why we actually on my Virginia Promise to a fresh start, a statewide tour. We got a charter bus wrapped with my face on it. We're going all the way across Virginia. And a lot of people are shocked and excited because they were like, well, we never seen anybody, politicians do this for. Well, I'm like, well, I'm not a politician. Yeah, I'm just a concerned Virginian. And so that's the reason why I'm here. I'm here because not to what people are typically used to, politicians show up and just talk and tell you what they can do. I'm here to actually to listen and also here to learn. And so when I saw this information you sent over, I read it. I it piqued my interest. As in, I'm all about how we could help working class families. Because one thing I always like to share this story. Um, I achieved my childhood dream. I went to, Hampton University undergrad, which one of our great HBCUs, and Georgetown Masters. And when I graduated, I was in a ton of student loan debt, 100K and over 25,000 in credit card debt. And as a black man coming from a rural area, now living in Arlington, I mean that was my thought. Is like I had to do all of that just to get some type of equality, just to even get started. Let alone just not even talk about if I want to need to get a car or if I get married or have a child or I need to buy a home. I mean, that adds on to it. So it shows it's an unfair system and how far behind we've already. I was already. I think use myself as an example. How far behind I was already in. Um, no fault of my own. No fault of my own, and it's an unfair system. And that's why we need to have systematic change, not only in our economic system, we need to have systematic change in our healthcare system, and we need to have systematic change in our education system because even though we desegregate it, it's still not equal. And a lot of things we're fighting for, we fought for, and we've same topics we've been talking about 4 years ago when the last statewide election, or 8 years ago, actually 50 years ago. We're still talking about economic justice, racial justice, social justice. So something needed to change, systematic change. And I'm here to bring new leadership, uh, new ideas, and a fresh start. I like to say the story. One of the things that leads me to be in this race, I always challenge my parents. It's a truly reason why I'm here today. God willing, I made it as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. I was able to pay off those $100,000 student loan debt, pay off the $25,000 in credit card debt. And after achieving my childhood dream, becoming an NFL sports agent, I created a very successful federal grants business that has secured millions of dollars for nonprofits schools, hospitals, and local governments. And I did that because my mom and my dad used to always say to me, Xavier, never forget where you come from. And I knew that people didn't have the financial means to get quality education, quality health care, and also get housing. So I wanted to do something about it. And that's why I created the federal grants firm to get the money and focus on nonprofits to support on that. Brought in over $20 million for schools, hospitals, and local governments just in the last year. Thank you. Thank you, Tommy. So with that said, that's the type of man that I am. That's the type of cloth that I'm cut from, as in you live by the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, but also most importantly, you never forget where you come from. And too many times we've had politicians, I would say the story, I remember politicians always show up the Sunday before election day at my church, and the pastor will let them come up to the pulpit, say their piece, and you never see them again for another 4 years. And nothing has ever changed. And I think that's wrong. And so I'm in this race because I am you and you are me. And I'm looking to really bring systematic change, real change, structural change, to be able to help and focus on economic empowerment, financial growth for people, so people can actually um, be in job and livable wages, but also financially support themselves. And so I'm open ears. So I'm really excited to be here. That's why I'm here, Betty, Harrison, and Tommy, to really learn and see how we all can work together.